Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Menken here with Splash Sports. Today is May 14, 2023, and a little recap on yesterday's performance. We got the sweep. Leave those money bags in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to everybody who toggled along here. I believe that is 8 out of our last 9 plays have smacked on Nicky's NRFIs. We've had a very good weekend leading up to Monday, and let's keep this thing rolling. Remember, go leave those money bags in the comments when we make a clean sweep, which we did yesterday. I'm pumped up, juiced up. I saw some money bags in the comments, so I absolutely love the engagement, guys. Again, if we sweep, all I want is those money bags in the comments for a return. And let's roll right into this. Let's stay hot on this show. Remember, on this show, all we care about is the first 6 outs of the ball game, plain and simple. A NRFI means no runs first inning, while a YRFI means yes runs first inning. But before I get into those plays, be sure to smash that like button for me and subscribe to my YouTube channel and toggle on that notification button. That way, every time I drop another play, you guys will be notified. All right, let's continue staying hot on this show. Starting off with game number 1 for Tuesday. We got the Chicago Cubs taking on the Atlanta Braves here. For the Cubs, Talon will be on the mound. He is 3-0 with 24 innings of work this season, an ERA of 1.13 here, 16 strikeouts and 3 earned runs. He'll be matched up against the Atlanta Braves' Chris Sale, and man, has Chris Sale looked like the old Chris Sale from the Chicago White Sox here. 5-1 this season, 42.2 innings of work here, an ERA of 2.95. 52 strikeouts. He's clearly putting batters away still. 14 earned runs. You look at Sale, like I said, he's been looking like the old Sale from the Chicago White Sox. In his last 5 starts, he has 5 wins here. He looks dominant on the mound. His stuff is filthy. His last outing went 6 innings of work, 6 hits, and no earned runs here. And then for Talon, he's coming off a win against the Milwaukee Brewers. Looked good in his last outing where he went 6 innings of work, 2 hits, and no earned runs. You look at this Braves offense, man, they're coming in around 5th in every category offensively. So obviously Talon has a lot he's got to deal with here in the bottom of the first inning, but he's been solid all season. He's only given up 3 earned runs here. I like him in this spot, especially who he's going up against in Chris Sale. He's looking dominant. He knows that Chris Sale is going to have his best stuff here today. That's why in game number 1 between the Chicago Cubs and the Atlanta Braves, we're smacking the NRFI. No runs first inning. Let's roll into game number 2 where the Washington Nationals take on the Chicago White Sox here. The Washington Nationals will be throwing out Trevor Williams, 4-0 this season with 35.2 innings of work, an ERA of 1.96 here. 30 strikeouts, averaging just below a strikeout here per inning, and is only giving up 8 earned runs on the season. He'll be matched up against the Chicago White Sox, Chris Flexen, and granted, both of these pitchers were supposed to go yesterday. That game got postponed. They are rolling here today. Flexen is 2-3 this season, 35.2 innings of work, a little higher end of an ERA, sitting at 4.29 here, 25 strikeouts and 17 earned runs. You look at Flexen, what he did in last week. He's coming off a nice win against the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa, where he went 6 innings of work, 3 hits, and only 1 earned run. And then Williams, on the other hand, he got the win as well in Baltimore in his last outing, going 5 innings of work, 2 hits, and no earned runs. Both of these starting pitchers, their team needs them, and they expect them to pitch well, that have a chance to get a win every time. Both of these pitchers are pitching for the respected teams. Williams for this Nationals team, and then Chris Flexen. It's the best shot that the Chicago White Sox have as a team, thinking that, hey, we got our guy on the mound, we could win a ball game here today. So I think both of these starting pitchers coming off a lot of success in last week, in their last outing, I should say. I think it's going to be the same thing, a little more rubber match here, even though the Sox are playing at home, which is a bang box here offensively. I think both of these starting pitchers keep a low score here in the first inning. That's why in game number 2 between the Washington Nationals and the Chicago White Sox, we're smacking the NRFI also. No runs first inning. Let's roll into game number 3 where the Kansas City Royals take on the Seattle Mariners here. For the Kansas City Royals, Michael Wacha will be out on the mound. He's 2-4 this season, 43.2 innings of work, an ERA of 5.15 here with 37 strikeouts and 25 earned runs. You look at the Seattle Mariners, they'll be throwing out their youngster Logan Gilbert. He's 3-1 with 52 innings of work, an ERA of 2.94 here, 54 strikeouts, averaging a strikeout here per inning, and 17 earned runs. But you look at Gilbert's last start, he barely got out of that first inning, giving up 5 total runs to the Minnesota Twins in that one, going 4 innings of work, 9 hits, and 8 earned runs. Clearly, Logan Gilbert had one of his worst outings, if not the worst outing of his major league career in his last outing there. I'm expecting Logan Gilbert to be back on track here. He's not going to give up 5 runs in the first inning like he did in his last outing against that Minnesota Twins team, so I know he'll be coming out guns blazing here in the top of the first. And then you look at Michael Wacha. Wacha's coming off a win in his last performance there against the Angels, going 6 innings of work and only 2 earned runs there. You're starting to see a little old Michael Wacha, what we've known from him in the Padres uniform here, but starting to pick up his innings, his strikeouts here later on in the season for Wacha. I like what I'm seeing out of Wacha, and then Logan Gilbert's going to have a bounce-back game here. He's too good of a pitcher to do otherwise. That's why in game number 3 between the Kansas City Royals and the Seattle Mariners, we're also smacking the NRFI. No runs, first inning. Let's take a recap of the games I've selected for you today. Game number 1 between the Chicago Cubs and the Atlanta Braves, we're smacking the NRFI. No runs, first inning. Game number 2 between the Washington Nationals and the Chicago White Sox. NRFI, no runs, first inning. In our third and final game between the Kansas City Royals and the Seattle Mariners, we're smacking the NRFI. No runs, first inning. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Nick Menken with Splash Sports. If you have not done so, smack that like button for me. It helps me out a ton, and it costs you guys none. And also go follow me on X at Nick Menken to get every single one of my MLB plays. And leave those money bags in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting hot on this show, and we're just cooking up. Best of luck and best bets.